Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Austrian Grand Prix results for Formula 1, Formula 2 and Formula 3. However, before we get into even the next week's schedule, which is Silverstone, I just want to send my condolences, my thoughts and prayers out to Dilano, Van Hoff's family and friends. As if you don't know, a horrible accident happened at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. I'm pretty sure in the Freaka series, like Formula Regional Championship series, freak accident that sadly cost Van Hoff's life. So my thoughts and prayers does go out to his family, friends, and also my prayers also goes out to Adam Fitzgerald, who I'm pretty sure was critically injured after the wreck. I do hope he is able to recover from his injuries. But let's just now get into next week's scheduled race, which is Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. And we first started with Formula 1. So FP1 and FP2, both of them will be on July 7th, which I'm pretty sure is on a Friday. Then Saturday on July 8th will be FP3 and qualifying. Then July 9th will be the race. Obviously FP1 that'll start at 12:30 to 1:30. FP2 that'll start at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. FP3 that'll start 11:30 to 12:30. Qualifying 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and the race will start at 3 o'clock on July 9th on a Sunday. F2 practice and qualify, both of them will be on a Friday, 10:05 to 10:50 for practice, while qualifying will start at 3:05 to 3:35. Sprint race will be on a Saturday, 1:15 to 2 o'clock. Apologies for that. And the feature race on a Sunday that'll be at 9:55 to 10:55 a.m. And then F3, Friday qualifying. Practice qualifying, both of them will be on a Friday. Practice will start at 8:45 to 9:30 a.m. Qualifying will start at 2:10 to 2:40 p.m. Sprint race on Saturday, that'll start at 9:20 a.m. to 10 o'clock a.m. And the feature race on Sunday, that'll start at 8:20 a.m. to 9:05 a.m. So once again, pretty early for the F3 guys. Speak of that, let's now talk about the Austrian Grand Prix results for Formula 3. For the F3 results in Austria, we'll first start off with the sprint race, which was won by Paul Aron, and then we got Gabriele Mini and Cal Collette right at the podium. And then for the top 10, we have in fourth place Zach O'Sullivan, then Johnny Edgar, Pepe Marti, Kaelin Frederick, Dino Bagnovich, Sebastian Montoya, and Gabriel Bortoleto ran out of the top 10. I don't think really, stuff obviously happened in this race. I'll be honest and say I did not watch the race. I was doing some other stuff, so I do deeply apologize for that. Well, the same cannot be said for the feature race, as I did watch that, and mainly one thing I kind of picked up in this race. But the winner was Zach O'Sullivan for the feature race, and we got Gabriel Bortoleto and Cal Collette ran out the podium. And then we have Franco Colapinto, Dino Bagnovich, Johnny Edgar, Christian Mansell, Hugh Barter, Sophia Flores. Shout out to both of those drivers who got their first points in the season. And then in 10th place, Sebastian Montoya. And Montoya, he was actually in the running of possibly finishing on the podium. But sadly, him and Colapinto made contact in, I'm going to say maybe turn 6, I think. Maybe turn 5. So that was pretty unlucky there for Montoya. And was literally Montoya got the worst of it. He still somehow he still somehow got a point, which is still pretty good. But not the best either way though for Sebastian Montoya, which is pretty sad. But that is F3, and I also want to give a quick shout out as well to Gabriel Bortoleto, because saw him waving his finger at Dino Bagnovich. I'm pretty sure he's telling him to hurry up, or that he was number 1. One of those was, I'm not really too sure. So let's now have a look at the standings, and here are the standings. So obviously only do the top 10. So we have Gabriel Bortoleto, who has a massive lead over Dino Bagnovich, and then we got Zach O'Sullivan, Pepe Marti, Gabriele Mini, Paul Aron, Franco Colapinto, Gregorio Sorsi, Luke Browning, and Leonardo Fornaroli ran out the top 10. So Bortoleto, he has a very comfortable lead as we head over down to Silverstone for F3. And with that out of the way, let's now talk about F2. For the F2 results, starting off with the sprint race that was won by Jack Crawford, then Victor Martins and Isaac Hadjar ran at the podium. And then for the top 10, we have Juan Manuel Carrera, Roman Stanek, Dennis Hauger, Jack Doohan, Oliver Behrman, Frederick Vesti, and Rory Nissany ran in the top 10. One notable thing that happened in this race was Clemens Novalak. I'm pretty sure he started like 20th or 22nd place in the sprint race and moved his way up to 3rd place. But then later it was revealed that I'm pretty sure his tire pressures were wrong. I'm pretty sure it was lower than usual than it was supposed to be, and so he was disqualified from 3rd place, which elevated Isaac Hadjar onto the podium. And other than that, nothing else really happened in that sprint race. But just like F3, I'll be honest, I did not watch it. I just saw Novalak was disqualified, obviously, on social media. And for the feature race, it was redemption day for Richard Verschoor as he wins in the feature race in Austria, and this time he gets to keep it, unlike last year where he was disqualified. Second place, we have Ayumu Owasa and Frederick Vesti right at the podium. And then for the top 10, for the rest of the top 10, in 4th place, Jack Doohan. Then we got Oliver Behrman, Enzo Fittipaldi, Theo Porcher, Jack Crawford, Victor Martens, and Jihan Darvala ran at the top 10. There was actually a late race safety car which happened due to Charles Leclerc's right rear tire, I'm pretty sure, fell off, and luckily it did not hit Oliver Behrman, so at least that was a good sign. Behrman was right behind him when that happened. Upholstered as well, Victor Martens, he kind of struggled for most of it. He had some wheel spin at the start of the race, and he kind of just fell like a rock down the field. So Martens, he didn't have a good position, obviously. I should say a good finisher result, but still some good points either way. And Verschoor and Owasa, they basically came out of nowhere thanks to that late race safety car, thanks to Leclerc's right rear tire, and also a virtual safety car due to Kushmani's puncture on his left rear tire this time. So let's have a look at the standings. Frederick Vesti, he still has a pretty comfortable lead, only 20 points in front of Theo Porcher. Then we got Ayumu Owasa, Oliver Behrman, Richard Verschoor, Dennis Hauger, Enzo Fittipaldi, Victor Martens, Jack Doohan, and Kushmani ran out of the top 10. So with that out of the way, let's now talk about the Formula 1 Austrian Grand Prix. As for the F1 results, now obviously I'm going to be doing this a bit differently. I'm actually going to use Wikipedia this time, just to spice it up a bit. So we first started with the sprint shootout, which is obviously qualifying before the sprint race. Max Verstappen got pole, then Sergio Perez and Lando Norris gained on the top 3. There was Nico Hulkenberg, Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, and Kevin Magnussen in there for Q3. Sprint race is also Max Verstappen. He obviously takes the win. No surprises there. And then we have Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Nico Hulkenberg, Esteban Ocon, and George Russell ran out the top 8 points. We're only going to be doing the top 8 points there. The biggest mover was Lewis Hamilton, moved up 8 spots, while the biggest loser, pretty sure was Lando Norris, who went down 6 spots. As for the main race, Max Verstappen, he obviously got the win. No surprises there. Only by 5 seconds there in front of Charles Leclerc. Then we got Sergio Perez ran out the podium. Then Lando Norris, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Lance Stroll, and Pierre Gasly ran out the top 10. Then we got Alexander Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Logan Sargent, Esteban Ocon, Valtteri Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Nick De Vries, Kevin Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda, and Nico Hulkenberg ran out the top 20. Hulkenberg, he was the only driver to retire due to an engine issue. And mainly this race, this race as a whole, this main race, because sprint race, that was really good, and there was some controversy even about the Red Bull drivers. There was penalties galore. I'm pretty sure 8 drivers got time penalties. I'm pretty sure one of them was Sainz, Hamilton, I think Gasly, Ocon maybe, De Vries, Magnussen. A lot of drivers were penalized. So there was a lot of stuff about track limits. If track limits was actually good, and there was just a lot of stuff mainly about track limits and stuff. But driver of the day was Lando Norris, as he kept his 4th place. We actually have the the driver of the day vote. So it was actually Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz, and Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, and Max Verstappen down there. And then for the penalties, here's all the penalties. I mainly want to go for the races, though. So these were all the races. This was during the race. All of them during the race. So it was like Hamilton leaving the track multiple times, Tsunoda leaving the track multiple times. To be fair, Ocon unsafe release. Leaving the track multiple times for Sainz, leaving multiple track for Albon, forcing another driver off the track for De Vries, leaving the track for Gasly, leaving the track multiple times, seconds for Tsunoda, leaving the track multiple times for Sargent, failing to serve a penalty for Tsunoda, and then leaving the track multiple times for Sainz, Hamilton, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, like 4 times, Logan Sargent, De Vries 2 times, and Tsunoda once. The Tsunoda one, though, that was actually the lead. No further action required to fail to serve a penalty. I'm pretty sure he was already down the train. Ocon, though, he I'm pretty sure that's quite a lot of penalties. I'm pretty sure it is a total of 30-second time penalties for Esteban Ocon. And this was all during, and this was all after the race, like Sainz, Hamilton, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, Sargent, De Vries, and Tsunoda. All of them was after the race, and I'm pretty sure they actually applied to the race results, and it was a bit iffy. I'm pretty sure Sainz was alright. Hamilton might drop some positions. Gasly dropped some positions. I'm pretty sure. Ocon, he was just dead. Albon, I don't think he dropped any positions. Sargent, I don't think he dropped any positions. If not, maybe one. De Vries was down in last. I'm pretty sure he dropped like 1 or 2 positions. And Tsunoda, I'm pretty sure he dropped 1 position, but I might be wrong about that. So, yeah, fastest lap went to Verstappen, fastest pit stop went to Lando Norris, and that's really all for Austria. Here are now the driver's standings and also the construction standings as well. So Charles Leclerc, he moves up 1 spot over George Russell. Lando Norris moves up 1 spot. Gasly moves down 1. Hulkenberg moves up 1, and Albon moves down 1 as well. So, yeah, it was a bit of mayhem, I guess we'll say, regarding penalties. And as for the constructors, only one change that been Haas up in 7th place, Alfa Romeo down in 8th place. Other than that, it's the same Red Bull, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Ferrari, Alpine, McLaren, Haas, Alfa Romeo, Williams, and AlphaTauri ran after the Constructors' Championship. So just a reminder that next week's race will be at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix for Formula 1, Formula 2, and Formula 3. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.